Now at 5, a former Utah Highway Patrol officer pleads guilty to felony child sex abuse. The plea deal he entered and how much time he'll spend behind bars. Plus, a deadly house fire leaves one man dead in Cache County. What firefighters are telling us about the blaze. And a winter storm is making its way across the country when it's expected to hit Utah. That's coming up in your full weather forecast.
Live, we're there for you. ABC 4 News at 5 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Jordan Burrows. Thanks for joining us tonight for ABC 4 News at 5 o'clock. A man is dead after his house caught fire in Lewiston. According to police, witnesses called 911 around 8:45 this morning. While fighting the flames, first responders were told that a resident had not been seen exiting the house and had still not been accounted for. Firefighters eventually found 89-year-old Joe Nunez dead inside. While an investigation is ongoing, officials believe the fire was accidental and was the reason for Nunez's death. One person is in critical condition after a car crash on Highway 30 last night. According to police, a Chevy Silverado went off the road for an unknown reason in Box Elder County. The truck then came back across the roadway and went off on the other side. It then rolled multiple times. The 20-year-old female driver was the only person in the vehicle. She was taken to a hospital in critical condition. A former UHP trooper has pleaded guilty to child sex abuse in exchange for a plea deal. 45-year-old Brian Bruce Adams was previously charged with multiple charges of child sex abuse. Adams pleaded guilty and received a 30-month probation and waived a jail sentence if he complies with the court terms to not have any similar offenses during his probation. Adams was also only required to register as a sex offender for the remainder of his probation. A Tooele man has been sentenced to prison for soliciting child rape and creating child pornography. 34-year-old Christopher Poole was investigated for child porn back in January. Police found Poole was asking and receiving child pornography from his girlfriend, Brittany Driscoll. Driscoll was previously sentenced in April for her part and will serve at least 10 years to life in prison. Poole will also serve a similar sentence in prison. All right, now let's check in with our pinpoint weather forecast with ABC4's Bob Bedore standing by at the latest. And Bob, storms are coming.
Yeah, they are coming. We were talking about them last night, telling people are coming. Well, now's about the time they'll start to really see what we were talking about. Taking a look right outside our own studios right now, you can see that flag is waving. That breeze is going pretty heavy. This storm is coming in. Still fairly warm, though, 47 degrees right now. But if we take a look at what's going on in southwestern Utah, well, then we got some rain going on in St. George. Let's take a quick look at our satellite, and we can see how all of that is coming along. You can see we've got a couple storms going on, but let's dip down into southern Utah real quick, and you can start to see how it is slowly making its way across there. We're going to see that turning into snow later. Same sort of thing happened in northern Utah, where we are already getting a fair amount going up and down the Wasatch Front there, but that'll be turning to snow again as well. Like I'm saying, things got to be going on, quite frankly. Let's take a quick look outside if I can get off of this. There we go. Deer Valley looking, well, about how you expect right now with the storm coming in. Kind of fogged, snowed in there, but you can see our temperatures still looking pretty good. Now, that's going to be the problem. We're going to see this snow start as rain in the valley, and then as it gets colder, then we're going to see it turning that. But we've got these winter alerts, and this is where we've got a big change. Let's go to northern Utah, where you can see that pink. That is now a winter storm warning. Yesterday, that was a winter storm watch. The difference, a watch is they're watching to see if it's going to happen. Warning is, yes, it's going to happen. Be ready. We're going to see close to over 2 feet of snow going on in there. And then southern Utah, we've got the same sort of thing with some heavy snow coming in 2 inches per hour as we go through the night. We'll tell you more about that. I'll come to my full forecast in just a little bit. Jordan?
Okay, thank you, Bob. Hundreds of people showed up to an event today to talk about cars and show off their cars. But these aren't normal cars, they are Hot Wheels. This once a month meetup is a Hot Wheels swap meet, and it's a community that cares a lot about the miniatures. Visitors can trade, buy, or just browse. Many of the nostalgic toys can go for thousands of dollars, while others add their own spin on the cars by buying accessories to make their collection unique.
The main focus a lot of this that we do is the ability that a lot of these collectors, when you look around, they do customization. So that's one of the main focus that we do. So there's a lot of customization that is made. So these guys, take your traditional Hot Wheel and then make it into these new razzle dazzle, design with new colors and different designs like that truck.
This month's swap meet also featured a donation section where people could donate some of their Hot Wheels to Toys for Tots. Today, the Street Dog Crew of Utah was out in Salt Lake City giving out free food and supplies to the homeless and low-income populations. The nonprofit works with multiple organizations throughout Utah to also provide free vaccinations and low-cost spay and neuters. It also promotes positive and responsible pet ownership by providing useful information to pet owners for low-cost resources.
It's not only a safety factor for people that are unsheltered, but it's the only unconditional love that you have. These animals are so judgment-free, and it gives people a reason to get up in the morning. No different than how happy I am to get up in the morning and see my cute dog's face.
The Street Dog Crew of Utah will be holding its holiday outreach next week to not only hand out dog food, but also coats, hats, and gloves, as well as take pictures with Santa. Parents suing the makers of the popular game Fortnite are now moving forward with the lawsuit. The suit claiming the game is specifically designed to get kids addicted. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi has the story.
The makers of the wildly popular video game Fortnite facing a new lawsuit. That newly authorized class action lawsuit filed on behalf of parents in Canada alleges Epic Games designed Fortnite to create a dependency in users and failed to provide warnings of the risks associated with playing. The online video game has more than 250 million registered users worldwide. Boston mom Deanna Greenstein says she noticed her 12 and 13-year-old sons became obsessed almost instantly.
They were coming home from school and they didn't want to go outside and play basketball. They didn't want to go and physically hang out with their friends.
The World Health Organization has categorized video game addiction as a mental health disorder.
They actually, just like with a drug or alcohol, they actually experience withdrawal symptoms. They might feel kind of down or upset or irritable when they're not able to play their games.
In 2019, our Becky Worley followed 10-year-old Cash, who loves Fortnite, and his classmate who doesn't play. To see what actually happens in the brain when he's playing Fortnite, they went to the Marcus Institute of Integrative Medicine at Jefferson Health. Neuroscientist Andrew Newberg uses an fMRI machine to set up a comparison to three things: random visuals with color and motion, and a similarly violent game from a few years back, and then to Fortnite.
So the area that really lit up is a dopamine area of the brain.
You can see Cash's brain on the left, Amato's, the non-Fortnite player, on the right. Cash's brain had much greater activation than Amato's.
These are areas that are very involved in our reward system of the brain.
Experts say games like Fortnite have a recipe to make you want to keep playing. Epic Games is pushing back, vowing to fight the allegations in court, saying the claims are meritless. Writing in a statement to ABC News, quote, "We have an industry-leading parental controls that empower parents to supervise their child's digital experience." Questions now on whether the class action lawsuit filed in Quebec could pave the way for similar suits here in the U.S. However, the tool used by the American Psychiatric Association, called the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, or DSM, does not classify gaming addiction as a mental disorder.
The people filing it would have to convince the court not to go with the DSM, the American Standard for Mental Disorders, but to go with the World Health Organization standards for what constitutes a mental disorder.
Again, that was Mona Kosar-Abdi reporting. Many parents report not only their concerns over their children getting addicted to video games, but also excessively spending real money in the game. Coming up, a major oil spill in Kansas, spilling nearly 14,000 barrels. How the burst pipe could have an effect on gas prices. That's coming up.